Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What's a secret you'll never tell your partner but are willing to tell strangers on Reddit? That she is far more similar to her mother and sisters than she would want to believe. This is my wife. Every time she's complaining to me about her mom and sister, I just have to keep my mouth shut. Because she complains about them doing stuff she does all the time. My mother-in-law lives with us in an in-law suite because she's disabled. It's given me so much insight into my wife's behavior and way she sees the world. Unfortunately, I can't actually call any of it out as stemming from her mother, but at least I can understand it better. Classic. I once suggested that my girlfriend's mental health issues were similar to her mother's. I was told to never suggest that again. I realized how similar I was to my partner's dad, and that the dynamic between her and I was the same as her parents. That wasn't a good realization at all. LMAO. Who wants to admit they ate 9 cans of ravioli? I mean, nobody wants to admit they ate 9 cans of ravioli, but I did. I'm ashamed of myself. The first can doesn't count, then you get to the second and third. Fourth and fifth I think I burnt with the blowtorch, and then I just kept eating. God takes care of the sparrows in the sky, he's gonna take care of the guy in the chair. I shit my pants 2 days ago. The one time when she and I first got together and she spent the night, I made it very clear I wanted her to leave in the morning. She was uncomfortable and brought it up later because of my behavior. I'll never tell her it's because since I only had one bathroom at the apartment and she was on the toilet that morning forever. It probably wasn't that long. Just had time. And my ass runs on its own schedule. One had to shit in a small trash can on the back patio area I had. I had a high fence so no one could see, but there was a mess I needed to clean. Both outside and on myself. But of course when she's out of the bathroom she has no idea and is asking about breakfast or whatever while I'm covered in poo. After she left I tossed my clothes and the trash can in the dumpster and took a long shower. And she also doesn't know that's the reason I've insisted any apartment we live in has 2 bathrooms. We've lived in 4 apartments together and everyone has had 2 bathrooms. Because I'm not doing that again. And she also doesn't know that's the reason I've insisted any apartment we live in has 2 bathrooms. We've lived in 4 apartments together and everyone has had 2 bathrooms. Because I'm not doing that again. The first place I lived with my wife had 1 bathroom. Never ever 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 again. It's our one hard rule when looking for some place to live. The wholesome answer? That our youngest son's first word wasn't mama. She was having a busy time at work and already felt guilty about not being home as much. Naturally he spent most time with me, so his first word was papa. I kept my mouth shut and waited until he said, mama, and celebrated that as his first word. My wife used to work in childcare, and that was rule number 1 with newborns. They are mute until the mom says they said their first word. Then they are chatterboxes. Edit for parents. Please ignore this and return to the ignorance that you are always there for your child's firsts. Edit for caretakers. Shit. Sorry for making your job harder now. Didn't expect this to blow up. And loads of first steps I imagine. That I know the word she's looking for. But it's more fun to hear her rattle off increasingly ridiculous, sometimes made up words instead. Wholesome Reddit is always a nice surprise. My best friend is a badger and I feed him sweet corn every morning at 5:20 a.m. Edit. Wow, this really blew up. Me and my badger friend Lucius appreciate all the support. This you need to tell your partner in order to avoid a Shakespearean-level tragedy. I called pest control honey, took care of it. Also, 'cause the so will probably love it and want a badger friend too. And if they don't, then they are a monster who needs to be dumped. As who doesn't want a badger friend? When he was away for work for 4 months. And I was working full-time and single parenting and depressed AF. One morning I hurried our kid, 3, out to the car before daycare with my hands full of stuff. I put everything in the car, put it in gear, and looked over my shoulder to back up. I backed up approximately 2 feet and hit the brakes. I didn't put our kid in the car. I was looking at an empty car seat. My toddler was standing beside his door on the passenger side waiting for me. And now he was crying 'cause he thought I was ditching him. If I hadn't looked over my shoulder, I could have run over our kid. Blame sleep deprivation and all the other shit going on. But mom guilt still eats me alive when I think about those 2 feet. And my husband will never know because I don't ever want him to think I'm a bad mom. Or know exactly how bad it was for me while he was away. TLDR. Almost ran over my own kid. You're not a bad mom. Shit like that just happens. You would be a bad mom if you didn't feel bad about it. I faked the first 6 orgasms with her. I just wasn't going to come due to anxiety, but I knew she'd be so self-conscious to the point of dumping me if I didn't. So I pulled out and came, in a towel or sock. Eventually I got there with her after the nerves calmed, but I'm taking that secret to the fucking brave. LMAO. Edit. One time I even prepped a towel by squirting some lotion in it and showed her how much she made me come because I'm a liar and a freak. Babe, Why does your cum smell like cocoa butter? Oh, I wasn't letting her get close enough for that. It was a quick flash, then I balled it up and Kobe'd that thing into the hamper. Swish swish. What made you want to show her actual physical evidence that you had to go out of the way to fake? In the first place, he said he's a freaky liar. That's all the info we needed. I made this. That's great, honey.